The channel, everyone. I have voting video number 261 in the Incredible Mandela Effect voting video series. And I'm sure this one's going to blow a few of your minds. Maybe if we have some James Bond fans in the audience. All right, so let's get into this one.
I've been expecting you, Mr. Bond.
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 All right, so I'm sure many of you can see where we're going with this one. I've been expecting you, Mr. Bond, has never been said in a single James Bond movie. Here's a 2012 blog post that talks about the fact that I've been expecting you, Mr. Bond, has never been said in those exact words. It's been used in one form or another, and the phrase itself, a variant, and joins "Play It Again, Sam" as a phrase attributed to a film or series, but not actually used in that exact form. So we have, "Good evening, Mr. Bond. I've been expecting you. We've been expecting you. Greetings, Mr. Bond," or whatever. Whatever you want to say. The expectation of you coming tonight has been very great, Mr. Bond. Anything but "I've been expecting you, Mr. Bond." That has not occurred in this reality. So I'm sure many of you are going to remember that of having been said in a James Bond film by a villain, but it wasn't. So this is very closely related to "Beam Me Up, Scotty," which I'm going to show you a tiny bit here, and I'll tell you why in a minute.
Henry's thing. Captain Kirk never said, "Beam me up, Scotty."
Do you know that people all over the world in every language who watch Star Trek have said, "Beam me up, Scotty"?
I know. Never said it. Scotty, beam me up. Two to beam up. I mean, everything else but beam me up, Scotty.
Scotty, beam me up. Two to beam up. So all these variations except for the line that we all remember. And that's what the Mandela effect is. The line we all remember doesn't exist in this reality. So here's another one. We just continue to have these left and right. If you type in "I've been expecting you, Mr. Bond," you'll have tons of examples. "I've been expecting you, Mr. Bond," from the newborn or almost newborn. "I've been expecting you, Mr. Bond." You can even go to Amazon and buy a doormat that says "I've been expecting you, Mr. Bond." 007. Here's a book, The Rough Guide to James Bond. And if we go in here, you'll see hands up. Who hasn't murmured a murderous "I've been expecting you, Mr. Bond," when stroking a cat? So we have that in a book. We have some other books. The longer answer as to how I ended up living in London, typing the words "I've been expecting you, Mr. Bond." I've been expecting you. So like you would expect, we have several books. "I've been expecting you, Mr. Bond." Here's the Amazon "I've been expecting you, Mr. Bond" doormat that you can purchase. And then I will leave you with this. So go ahead and vote. Thumb up if you recall "I've been expecting you, Mr. Bond," or if you would agree that you would expect that to be in a James Bond film. Thumb it down if you know that that was never used in a James Bond film. You wouldn't expect it to be in a James Bond film. This is a definite Mandela effect, just like "Beam Me Up, Scotty." Here's a 1999 newspaper. People go to the movies expecting to see certain things in a Bond film. but they want them just a little bit different each time. They want to see M say, I want you to take care of this little problem, James. They want to see him go to a casino and say the name is Bond, James Bond. They want to see the scene where the guy says, I've been expecting you, Mr. Bond. Well, good luck. So that's about it. I hope everyone is getting comfortable experiencing their reality shifts. I just today came across 3 more possible Mandela effects. Like I said before, we go through waves and it feels like we are heading uphill in the wave pattern, heading up towards the crest. We've been down at a low point where there haven't seemed to be a lot of changes. It's every day for almost 2.5 years I've been searching Mandela effect on YouTube, and we go through waves of effects, it appears. And we haven't had a whole lot of new effects. I seem to feel that ramping up. Let me know in the comment section if you feel the same. You feel the ramping up of new effects. I think we're about to have some incredible effects come to light of things that we recall a certain way that have never been that way in this reality. So the Mandela effect is not going away. I've been extremely busy, so I haven't been able to do many videos, but it kind of coincides with a time where there's not a whole lot of changes. But like I said, I've seen some recent things. So if I have a little time, I'll probably be coming out with some more videos. So that's about it. I still have those other videos that I want to do. I just haven't had the time to do them. But eventually, I will put them out when I have some time. Of some information that is talking about this time coming. And it's been out there for a very long time. There are people talking about this reality shifting and history changing back in 2010, 2011. And I have some examples of that. You know, the post-2012 Mayan calendar, people were expecting this, believe it or not. And I will show you evidence of that when I have time. So take care, everyone. Incredible times, synchronicities, off the charts sometimes. It's just, things are good. I mean, we're creating our own realities. We're all a result of our thoughts and beliefs, and I believe that 100%. I believe this is a connection with this. The Mandela effect has reassured me of that and made me sure of that. That, you know, we are creating our reality through our thoughts. We become what we think about. I know that's hard for people to believe. I have some Bible believers and religious people that say, oh, Moneybag 73 thinks that we're creating our own realities. Well, there's tons of examples in the Bible where it talks about the fact that we receive what we want, what we think about. You know, you reap what you sow. We're planting little seeds in our brain, in the field of our brain, like you're a gardener and you're planting seeds, and then if you plant good seeds, you have a good return. Well, if you plant positive seeds in your brain, you have positive results. You plant little negative seeds of hate and anger, and that's what you get as a result when it blossoms. I mean, this is what's happening. So the apocalypse is underway, everyone, and the unveiling is happening, and we're all a part of it. Well, I don't know. Maybe we're not all a part of it, but there'll be more and more people joining us, I believe. There's people every day waking up to the Mandela effect. So it's interesting to see where all this will lead. But I'm happy to be able to communicate with so many people. And, you know, I'm happy for all the people that have been there for me in the comment section over the past few years. This is just an incredible time. And I believe this is all positive. That's my own opinion. I mean, you know, we all know there's people who think this is awful and negative and Satan's doing it. Well, that's great. Maybe that's true. I mean, if that's what you think and believe, and you know, maybe that's true for them. Who knows? So that's it, everyone. I'll talk to everybody soon. Go create the reality that you want.